Hey, so it's 20th of March, evening the 20th of March. We have FOMC tonight at 2 a.m., where the US Fed Reserve will decide whether they are going to keep rates at 2.5%, whether they're going to increase interest rates at 2.75, or whether they're going to cut interest rates to 2.25. Current expectation is for interest rates to remain at 2.5%, with more attention being paid towards what is being conveyed and what's being said in the Fed statements, um, indicating whether they are more likely on a path towards further increases, or are they more likely on a path towards future cuts in the interest rate. Um, at this point, we are hearing a lot of, or we're reading a lot of market news and articles talking about imminent recessions in the US, quite dovish statements coming out from the US about how interest rates will or should be lower than the current 2.5%. The FOMC previously last increased interest rates to 2.5% in December. So this is one quarter on from the previous increase. So tonight's news might actually have quite significant moves to the overall market. Okay, so how I look at it, my point of view, and I remember that this is really just my point of view. You should do your own analysis. I'm not telling you exactly what to buy, and any information I give you here, just use it as a support and make sure you do your own ideas and trade analysis. My view is that while they are more likely to hold interest rates at 2.5%, um, with the overall bias and with the overall feel that the FOMC should be reducing rates, we might actually see the FOMC maintain their statement of one more rate increase in 2019. So we could see them say that, hey, we might still be looking at one more rate increase in 2019. So because of this, I believe that it might surprise the market a little bit, with a slightly not as dovish statement as they would have expected. So we could see some strengthening. We could see some strengthening in the US dollar. Okay, so that's the funds rate with no change. The statement not as dovish as expected. Economic projections will probably be quite similar to what we've seen over the past couple of projections, because there hasn't been that much affecting the economic data recently. So looking at the charts over here, I can't flip over, but looking at the charts over here, I'm looking at the Aussie dollar. This has got a big drop because of the recent big drop because of the talk about Aussie rates that should be lower, with quite a retracement for the rest of the day. I wouldn't be looking at Aussie. I wouldn't think of Aussie dollars as much of a trading potential for tonight. I'll be a bit more keen on the Kiwi. Kiwi at currently 6846, 6850. It looks like quite a good level that I believe, if we do see a less dovish statement, or not a less dovish than expected statement from the FOMC, we could see some US dollar strength, with good downside potential, probably a good 100 pips downside potential in the New Zealand US dollar. One I would really pay attention to a lot is actually the Euro US. The Euro US has actually been sitting in a very tight range for a couple of days now. Currently at 1.1353. This is quite a level where, you know, we've seen a quite a significant weakening of the euro. So if we do see more downward pressure towards the euro US, pushing it lower with a slightly less than dovish or less dovish FOMC statement, we could see a lot of downside. The risk reward is going to be great. You could be risking a good 20 something pips and look for a good 160 something pips downwards. That could be the maximum move downwards. Obviously, I'm not telling you to hold a trade all the way down. That could work, but manage your risk with the news. There's a lot of factors in play. Looking on the Euro US on the H4 time frame, is actually approaching quite a resistance level as well at about the 1.38 level. So we could see this as a good turning point for Euro US to go lower. All right. Looking at the pound US dollar, again, it's been sitting in quite a range. I wouldn't be paying so much attention to the pound US dollar because of the underlying or the overlying Brexit talks, with potential for Prime Minister May to be looking for an extension, a short extension to the Brexit. So I wouldn't be paying so much attention to that. But that said, I'll share with you that 1.3200 is a very key level that I'm paying a lot of attention to. If it does break through that level, I think the technical play comes in quite strongly here. So breaking 1.3, closing below, or the H1, closing below the 1.3200 level, 1.3200 level, we could see significant move downwards. It's resisted that level for about 1, 2, 3 days, 4 days now, for 5 days now. So breaking that level, we could see it really tumbling down towards maybe the 1.3, 1.29 level. Okay. US yen. US yen is actually quite interesting that it's really been moving in a range and then having big jumps. Okay, it's a bit of a risk on, risk off idea for the US yen. If we do see a stronger US dollar, we could see a relatively good move upwards towards the 1.112 level. Good 50 pip move upwards. I would look at it a bit differently for the US yen in the scenario where I'll look at the US yen if we do see quite a dovish US statement. Okay, that means that it surprises us with our expectation is it's not so dovish, but if we do see quite a dovish, they say that they're not going to increase interest rates, or they're talking about a potential cut in interest rates. We could see the US yen go from the 11150 level quite quickly down towards the 111 or 110 level. Okay, so I will look at US yen on the weaker US dollar trade idea. US CAD, again, another one that's been had quite a big move, but it's come back to that 1.3335 level, 1.3330 level, and it's been sitting there for it feels like the longest time right now. Okay, so this one would actually be quite a good trade, both upwards or downwards moving, because the next level higher would be about 130 pips away. If we see a stronger US dollar news, if we see a weaker US dollar news, it could be a 200 pip move downwards. So this would be something that I would have at the corner of my screen, just something I would be paying a little bit of attention to. What I would really prioritize is to figure out the statement, whether they are indicating, whether FOMC is indicating future future increases, future cuts, or they're going to stand pat at the next one in 2019 to have one more rate increase. Okay, So tonight it really comes down to the statements, the sentiment of the statements. I'll be US CAD, I could be looking at it going upwards or downwards. The US yen, I'll be looking at it for a weaker US dollar to move it downwards. The Euro US, I'll be looking for a stronger US dollar for it to be moving lower again. Okay, so 2 a.m. tonight, remember, trade safe. In the event where you are trading, you don't know what's happening, don't enter a trade. If you don't know what's happening, don't rush into a trade. Manage your risk, and please let me know if you have any other questions or feedback about this video and about trading the news. To follow that as well, tomorrow we actually have a lot of news as well. We have at 8:30 the Aussie employment numbers. In the afternoon, we have a bit of the Swiss franc numbers. We have the pound retail sales. We have the pound bank rates. So there's quite a lot of news coming up tomorrow. So don't expect things to move consistently through the whole day. There's going to be a lot of stop starts. So sometimes you might even have to get into a position, be willing to take a little bit of risk, prepare yourself so that you can get ready for the next news coming out as well. All right. So for my students, do remember what you're supposed to do, the homework set up for you, and also our next mentoring session, which is next week. Okay, so till then, I'll catch up with you again. Trade safe. Bye.